We've travelled to what feels like the ends of the earth, where landscapes are unsullied by man and nature is still firmly in control. Who knew it, but Patagonia is a motocrosser's dream, and that's why we're here for the first running of the Grand Prix of Patagonia Argentina, with a brand new track lovingly hewn from the virgin soil of the valley floor. The racing is obviously our focus, but the area here in the province of Neuquén is all about making the most of the outdoors. And what an area it is. "99% of the paddock have made it all the way here, but we're still missing a couple of guys. Kevin Strybos had surgery on a damaged tendon and is looking to be back for Argo de Trento. Around about the same time, Tommy Searle is looking to be back riding, but not racing with these guys at Red Bull Factory KTM after his crash in Thailand. Max Anstey is back, which is great news, but his teammate Mel Pocock suffered a horrific injury in Great Britain and will be out for a long while. Our thoughts are with Mel and another Kawasaki rider, reigning world champion Jordi Tixier. The FIM CMS director Tony Skillington is on hand to clarify Tixier's ban from the Thai GP.
We had received a written complaint from both the CMO and the medical director in relation to an altercation, let's say, that had taken place in the medical tent. When something like this happens, there are boundaries that you don't cross. You simply don't cross in life, and I feel that we had to take action in this case. I was left really with no other choice, only to proceed with action. You know, Jordi was summoned to the race direction to give an account from his side as to what happened. He admitted the altercation, and on that basis he was suspended and fined from that point.
Tixier wasn't the only one to fall foul of the new anti-doping regulations with the IV. Tim Geischer was also caught out.
Yeah, you can prepare for everything, but every time is something, you know, that can surprise you. After first race, many riders was very dehydrated, and then yeah, we went to the hospital there in the medical on the race, and yeah, they give me infusion. Also Tixier and Sever take it, and actually, if I will know this before, we didn't know that if we take infusion we cannot ride in the second race. So if we will know before, we definitely will not take it. We are just humans, so we are learning from mistakes, and from now we will never do the same mistakes.
Thailand did go right for some. Pauls Jonas took his first ever podium and now needs to find a way to beat his teammate Hurlings.
Yeah, I think that was a big surprise for everyone, also for the team and everyone around me. No one expected that I will be on the podium already on the second race. Yeah, hard work pays off. Yeah, for sure I want to beat him, but that's, I think, goal for everyone. But yeah, I said I'm not putting pressure on myself. I know he's really strong and really fast, and yeah, then maybe one day, but now I'm not ready to beat him. I could do fast laps, but I need to bring that speed for the whole moto. I can do first 3-4 laps really fast. I can be in the same speed as him and as every top rider, but I would not say I am fit enough, but that's just, you know, with experience. That comes with experience, because the GPs in the first laps, everyone is going so fast, and that's a bit different than it was before.
Yeah, actually, Jeffrey's, yeah, it's tough to beat, but anyway, I think it's possible, you know, just, you know, pushing more harder, pushing your body to the limit, and yeah, just train harder. I was you know, after that race that they didn't give me to ride in the second race, I was really disappointed. I was mad. And these 2 weeks I was training really hard on the bike, off the bike, so I think I'm prepared more. So we will see now, we will see.
Romain Febvre, number 461, Yamaha Factory Racing Yamaha.
Valentin Guillot, number 92, riding for Standing Construct Yamaha Loop.
From the centre of the start line, it's about 85 metres to turn 1 here in Patagonia. A wide 180-degree left-hand turn immediately through 2 waves. And then turn 2, a nice wide sweeping right-hander. On the exit, the riders head under a bridge and over the first of 3 rolling tabletop jumps. The second one is the biggest of the 3. The final one heading into turn 3 through the right sweeping bank. It's a very wide circuit here in Patagonia. Heading up over the Dragon's Back. Different combinations depending what side you head into. But then turn 4, the left-hander immediately takes us into the waves. 6 waves through here, a little bit wider on the outside. To the right, then on the left, and then we hit the first of the Monster Energy step-up jumps. It's about 17 metres, that one. Through the next right, we have a double single. Through a tight left, over a floater, and then we're over the Ippon step-up. And then we head uphill briefly. This is where the main crowd are going to be watching from this weekend. Through the 180 right, dropping back downhill. Over another roll-up, and then another huge step-up jump. Down on the other side, through the bank's left-hand turn. Expect there to be some real big braking bumps through there as the weekend progresses. Another series of waves into the tight right-hander, and then we are over another crest. And then coming out of this right-hander, under the Monster Energy banner, we have another split section, rhythm section. The left side being favoured by most riders, but that will chop out, so maybe then they'll have to start to switch to the outside, but the left is the quicker of the 2 lines. Through the left, through the right-hander, the turn 12, through the bomb holes, then the short straight, into the right-hander, and then a single heading up into the final turn. Come out of there, the left, over the Monster Energy finish line, and that's a lap here in Patagonia. In the MX2 qualifying race, Jeffrey Hurlings raced to his 3rd pole position of the season ahead of his young teammate Paul Jonas, but it wasn't such a good outing for Tim Geiser on the Honda Garibaldi machine, coming home in 15th. The riders lined up to take their places on the start line. Jeffrey Hurlings up the inside, gate number 1, but he didn't make the best of starts. A little bit of wheel spin as he came out of the gate. Put him on the back foot immediately. Julian Lieber got squeezed, and so too did the 2 Red Bull KTMs by Dylan Ferrandis, but it was Jeremy Seewer who raced to the foxhole shot. But coming into turn 4, Jeffrey Hurlings got nudged by his teammate, crashed out spectacularly, picked himself up, but his bike was too damaged to rejoin the race. So that meant then we would see a new race winner here in Race 1 in Patagonia. Dylan Ferrandis led briefly, but then he was overtaken by number 41 of Jonas, and they battled for the lead. Just behind them, Julian Lieber on the 33 Yamaha and Max Anstey on the 99 Kawasaki battled over 3rd. Anstey eventually found his way through by lap 3 and stayed there for the majority of the race. Meanwhile, Ferrandis was all over the back of Jonas, and the 2 were side by side, bar to bar. And on lap 5, Dylan Ferrandis eventually found a way through and was back into the lead. Jeffrey Hurlings, meanwhile, was receiving treatment in pit lane for an injured ankle sustained in the crash. Jeremy Seewer was lucky to escape the crash as he raced around on his Rockstar Energy Suzuki in 5th position, which is where he would stay when the checkered flag fell, but not so lucky for Jens Getterman. The JTEC Honda rider took a spill and did not finish Race 1. Thomas Covington and the 92 of Valentin Guillot, they had their own little battle going on, 4th, 6th and 7th. Eventually it would go the way of Valentin Guillot. The American Covington would finish in 7th, but Dylan Ferrandis was masterful at the head of the field and would eventually go on to take victory in Race 1. Jonas was 2nd, Anstey was 3rd, Lieber and Seewer rounded out the top 5. Jeffrey Hurlings limped his way to the start line to take his place in Race 2 after that spectacular crash in Race 1. Looking for a better start, but Dylan Ferrandis, meanwhile, after victory in Race 1, sensed an opportunity for an overall Grand Prix win, the first of his career in MX2, as one of the standing construct Yamahas of Valentin Guyot suffered a few problems and needed urgent work in the work area. The gate dropped and Max Anstey over on the far side tried to anticipate the gate. So too did Julian Lieber on the Yamaha. Both riders left stranded on the start line as everybody else charged down into turn 1, Anstey taking a little bit longer to get free from that start gate. Alexander Tonkov it was who grabbed the foxhole shot on the Wilvona Star and Husqvarna. But it wasn't long before Jeffrey Hurlings found a way around the outside at turn 3 and was into the lead. And he was quickly followed by his teammate Jonas as he nudged his way down the inside of the Russian. Not so lucky was the number 33 of Julian Lieber, crashing out just in the wave section. He would not rejoin the race, so both standing construct Yamaha Yamalube riders were out of Race 2. Dylan Ferrandis made a poor start and he made even more work for himself after falling from 3rd. He dropped back down to 6th and had to charge back through the field to have any chance at all of getting back onto the podium. First of all, he caught his teammate and then went after Jeremy Siwa on the number 91 Suzuki. That put him up into 4th position. Then he went after number 59 Alexander Tonkov. He squared him up coming out of the first turn, looked to make a pass around the outside until it all went wrong for Tonkov. Ferrandis almost got caught up in the carnage, but he was able to keep it up on 2 wheels and then go after the 41 of Paul's Jonas. This was the battle for 2nd position and the overall Grand Prix as well. Ferrandis eventually made the pass stick as Jeffrey Hurlings pulled clear at the head of the field. He went on to take victory in race number 2, but it was Dylan Ferrandis who took the checkered flag to record his first Grand Prix win of his career. Paul Jonas was 3rd, and that was good enough for 2nd overall. Jeremy Siwa also a first-time visitor to the podium with 2 5th-place finishes this weekend. And in the championship, Jeffrey Hurlings and Dylan Ferrandis are now tied on 125 points. But Dylan Ferrandis it is who was victorious this weekend in Argentina. What will they do in Italy next time out?
Welcome back to an absolutely packed and insane track here in Patagonia. As the fans get ready for the action, we're going to catch up with current MXGP Championship leader, Clement Desalle.
As the sun begins to rise, sails are furled for words in time. Chemistry's spark flying, so I can make all surprise.
Desalle picked up the red plate at round 2, much to the surprise of many, including himself.
I was just thinking to do a good GP, to be regular, and I was concentrating on myself. But yeah, in the same time I knew it because you know, we all the time know what's up after each moto. So yes, but in the same time was not the priority. Yeah, actually, I will compare. I don't know exactly, but you know, every year that it comes, I take some experience. So I try all the time to improve myself with those experiences. And yeah, compared to 2011, you know, with my training, I'll try all the time try to find some small thing who can be better for the future. So yeah, for sure, I improve myself again since there, for sure. So it's true that I'm. Since the beginning, I'm in a MX1 machine, so I was really young when I get on the 450 bike already. It's true that for the people, they see me since a long time in MX1, so they maybe forget that, but it's true that I think the best form that a guy, a rider can have, I think is between 25 and 30. You have all the, I think you have all the capacity of your body at this time, and so I try to stay focused on on motos who come GPs and try to win as much as possible, or actually do a really consistent result. That's the best thing, and I'm looking for that and to give the best thing I can.
The rain started to fall before MXGP Race One. There were some nervous looks on some of the faces as well. Commander South managed to qualify in 4th position after a simple fall in one of the corners, but it was Tony Cairoli who took his 2nd pole position of the season ahead of Ryan Villapoto and Max Nagel. The gate dropped and the MXGP riders charged down into turn 1. It was on board here with Ryan Villapoto. Didn't make the best start, but he was able to hang around the inside as Sean Simpson grabbed that foxhole shot. He ran wide though, going into turn 2 and opened the way for Clement de Sau. So the Belgian led on the very first lap. Ryan Villapoto was in 4th place, then lost another 2 positions in quick succession, and he was pushed back down to 6th and had to work his way past the likes of Jeremy Van Horbeek, number 89. That got him up into 4th place, and then he went after Sean Simpson. Simpson made it a little bit more difficult for the American though. Ryan Villapoto tried on several occasions, thought he had the pass for 3rd, but once he was there, Simpson fought right back. Jeremy Van Horbeek overshot, and that allowed Max Nagel through. And then a lap later, Van Horbeek was sent sprawling to the deck. Max Nagel was the man on form though. He'd come from outside of the top 10 and was soon onto the rear wheel of Ryan Villapoto, challenging for 3rd place. He made the pass going into the right-hander into the rhythm section, and then he went after Antonio Cairoli, who in turn was going after Clement de Sau in the battle for the lead. Cairoli thought he'd found a way around the outside of the Suzuki, but going out of turn 2, de Sau chose a neat line back down the inside, squared off the turn, forced Cairoli wide, and the Belgian was back in the lead. But then it all went wrong for Cairoli on the final lap as he closed in on the Suzuki. A scrub that went wrong sent him sprawling to the deck. He managed to pick it up, keep the engine running, but it was de Sau who won race 1. Cairoli was 2nd, Nagel 3rd. The man making waves in the 2015 MXGP class is rookie Romain Febvre. He has race-winning pedigree in MX2, but no one quite expected his current top 5 speed so early in the season, not even him.
To be a rookie, it's always nice because I love the new challenge, and then I think compared to last year I'm really more relaxed, and you know, when I'm behind again I surprise myself because I don't have stress. I'm really proud to Yamaha because they gave me the chance to figure with their bike in MXGP, and the other team was not, they don't give me the opportunity, and I think the big thing is I want to show those teams that they was wrong, you know. So for those teams it's difficult to put the pressure on one rookie rider. So it's difficult, but Yamaha did it and I'm really pleased with that.
His teammate is feeling the pressure. After disappointing races in Thailand and no sign of his 2014 form, we took Jeremy Van Horbeek onto the podium to remind him what it's all about.
It feels like coming home, you know. Definitely this is my place, you know. It was maybe not in Thailand and Qatar, but from now on, you know, I have another vision again on this season, and I spoke with Michele also after Thailand, and you know, we came to the same opinion. Like the season after an unforgettable season, like being I don't know, 13 times on the podium or 12 times, and so many times in a row. I think it's really impossible to do it like every year. So, and I was putting a lot of pressure on me to do it like this again and maybe even better. But you don't have to do it like this to be world champion. So, you know, that's one thing that's clear now, and the pressure is a lot less than in the first 2 runs. I'm not a quitter. I would never pull out of a track without a reason, and we were like 15 seconds clear after 5 laps. So we were gone, you know, gone from everybody. We had the speed from our 4 riders, the top 4 was way above the rest. But then, you know, my vision started to get blurred again. To me, it was getting dangerous for myself. And then I prefer to take like a DNF than to get like 18 and 2 points. It would be a big risk, you know, because I didn't saw properly the lines and the jumps, and that's why I pulled out. And I'm happy Thailand is gone, and it was a difficult one because it was one of the toughest one of my career, I can tell you. I didn't sleep for 3 days about that. Like normally you have to go on, move on and put it aside straight away, and it was impossible. But then once I finally let it go, you know, I was like on another planet. Was back on track.
After his victory in race 1, Clément de Sale arrived at the gate in confident mood. But any one of the first 4 riders from that first race, de Sale, Cairoli, Nagel or Villopoto, were realistically in with a chance of winning, as Jeremy Van Horbik took his place on the grid after his crash with a slight thumb injury. He knew a good start would be important in this second race. Max Nagel charged into turn 1 on the Red Bull Ice One Husqvarna, narrowly edging out de Sale for the foxhole shot. And Ryan Villopoto made a slightly better start as Sean Simpson took out Evgeny Bobryshev after losing his back brake in a collision with Glenn Coldenhoff on the 259 Rockstar Energy Suzuki. Villopoto once again made light work of the number 89 of Van Horbik, who was riding slightly injured. But it was this man again, number 12, Max Nagel, from out of nowhere, went from 3rd to 2nd, finding a way past Tony Cairoli, and then went in pursuit of number 25, Clément de Sale. And Ryan Villopoto wasn't too far behind either, so the first 4 guys were right where we wanted them to be. De Sale made a few mistakes in the second half of the race, and that allowed Max Nagel to gain ground. Eventually, it was the German who stormed into the lead before the halfway point and started to pull clear. De Sale was struggling in 2nd, Cairoli was 3rd, but the 2 Yamahas, Van Horbik getting passed by his teammate, Romain Febvre. Van Horbik, though, would respond and find his way back into 5th, but Cairoli charged down the inside of de Sale, and in a repeat move that de Sale pulled on the Sicilian in race 1, Cairoli was through into 2nd. And the gap between the first 4 was starting to shrink. Max Nagel, Cairoli, de Sale, Villopoto, all within 4 seconds of each other in the closing stages of the race, all being urged on by their mechanics down there in pit lane. Ryan Villopoto found his way onto the rear wheel of de Sale, but couldn't quite find a way through. But it was Max Nagel who took the checkered flag in race 2 and the overall Grand Prix victory, his 2nd of the season. Cairoli was 2nd, de Sale 3rd, Villopoto was 4th, Van Horbik was 5th, but the overall Grand Prix belonged to Nagel. And de Sale leads the championship, Nagel now 2nd on the same points as Tony Cairoli, but for the Red Bull Ice One Husqvarna team, that's 2 Grand Prix wins out of 3 in 2015.
MXGP, a place where you can go from not making the podium one week to standing on top of it the next, or vice versa. This MXGP season is shaping up to be something rather special as we head into the European season in April for the Grand Prix of Trentino in Italy.